The Rocky Sagas, all 6 movies summarized in Lego. Lego Rocky!
Philadelphia, 1975. Just another grueling club fight for a small-time boxer going nowhere. $65 for a win. Hardly enough to make rent, let alone a living. By day, he works as a collector for a local loan shark, but he's got too much heart. His only bright spot is a shy girl working at the neighborhood pet store. He tells terrible jokes just to see her smile. She barely says a word. The local gym is his sanctuary, the only place he feels like he belongs. But even the gym turns its back on him. His locker is given to a younger fighter. The gym owner calls him a bum, a wasted talent who never took life seriously. His best friend works at the meatpacking plant. He's rough around the edges. He gets an invite for Thanksgiving dinner, a chance to finally connect. Meanwhile, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world needs a new opponent. His scheduled fighter drops out. He comes up with a brilliant marketing gimmick. He decides to give a local underdog a shot at the title, the Italian Stallion. Thanksgiving dinner turns into a disaster, but it forces a moment of truth. He gets her out of the house. A first date on a cold winter night. He pays a janitor to keep the skating rink open for 10 minutes.
For the first time, she opens up. 2 lonely people finally finding a connection.
Back at his place, the walls come down. A hesitant, beautiful first kiss. They don't want him for sparring. They want him to fight the champion. The fight is announced on live television. The whole city is watching. The gym owner comes to his apartment. Suddenly, he wants to manage him. Years of resentment boil over. He was ignored when he needed help the most, but he can't hold a grudge. He needs a manager, and he needs a friend. Training begins. 4 a.m. The hardest work of his entire life. 5 raw eggs. No time for a real breakfast when you have a mountain to climb. The first run is brutal. His lungs burn, his legs feel like lead. No heavy bags available? Frozen meat will do the trick. Building raw power. The unorthodox training catches the media's eye. Even the champion is watching now. Push! Keep it steady! He pushes past his limits. Speed, stamina, and unbreakable willpower. The city rallies behind him. He's no longer just a fighter. He's their fighter. He flies up the museum steps. The physical transformation is complete. He's ready. Ready for the fight of his life. The night before the fight, he visits the empty arena. The doubt creeps back in. He tells her he knows he can't win. He just wants to go the distance. New Year's Day, 1976. The champion enters like a king, expecting an easy exhibition. Round 1. The champion goes down for the first time in his career. The fight is real. 14 grueling rounds of sheer brutality. A war of attrition where neither man will yield. He goes down hard in the 14th. Everyone tells him to stay down, but he refuses to quit. He went the distance. In the end, it didn't matter who the judges picked. He had already won.
Rocky II, the rematch.
New Year's Day, 1976. Both fighters are rushed straight from the ring to the emergency room. The champion survived, but his pride is shattered. He instantly demands a rematch. But the challenger has nothing left to prove. He promises her that he is done fighting. With the fight money in his pocket, he marries the love of his life. A fresh start. They buy a beautiful new house. For a moment, it feels like the American dream. He buys a car, expensive watches, and leather jackets. The money flows like water. He buys a car, expensive watches, and leather jackets. The money flows like water. He tries to cash in with commercials, but he can't read the cue cards. He becomes a joke. With the money running out, he takes a brutal job hauling meat just to pay the mortgage. But even that doesn't last. The economy is tough, and he is the first one laid off. Desperate, he swallows his pride and takes a job sweeping up his old boxing gym. Meanwhile, the champion is drowning in hate mail. Fans call the first fight a fix. He orchestrates a ruthless smear campaign to goad his opponent out of retirement. The champion goes on national television, calling him a coward and a one-hit wonder. His old manager sees the insults. The disrespect makes his blood boil. He convinces him to fight, but there's a huge problem. He has a severe eye injury. To protect his blind eye, he has to learn how to fight entirely right-handed. But his heart isn't in it. His wife is pregnant, and she doesn't want him to fight.
To make ends meet, she goes back to her old job at the pet store, working while heavily pregnant.
Her brother confronts her, accusing her of holding her husband back. The stress is too much. She collapses in the middle of the store. A medical emergency stops everything. He abandons his training and rushes to the hospital. Boxing doesn't matter anymore. The baby is born prematurely. He is healthy, but the mother is in grave danger.
She falls into a deep coma. The doctors don't know if she will ever wake up.
He refuses to leave her side. He stops eating, he stops sleeping, he stops living. He sits by the bed for days, reading poetry out loud, hoping she can hear him. His manager doesn't go back to the gym. He waits in the chapel, praying for a miracle. Finally, the coma breaks. She opens her eyes. The nightmare is over.
They meet their son together. The family is whole again.
She asks him for one favor. Just one thing. Win. His eyes change. The fire is back. And this time, it's an inferno. He attacks his training with terrifying intensity. He is stronger than ever. Learning to fight right-handed forces him to become a devastating two-way machine. Old school footwork training. If you can catch a chicken, you can catch greased lightning. He takes his run to the streets. The entire city knows what's coming. He becomes the Pied Piper of Philadelphia, an unstoppable force of nature. He conquers the steps. His mind, body, and soul are ready for war. Fighting right-handed confuses the champion. It's a brutal 15-round bloodbath. Round 15, a devastating exchange. Both men go down. It all comes down to sheer will. Against all odds, he stands up. The ultimate underdog is the new heavyweight champion of the world.
Lego Rocky 3, The Eye of the Tiger.
3 years as champion, 10 title defenses. He has become a superstar, wealthy beyond his wildest dreams. He's on every magazine cover, selling everything from cameras to credit cards. The ultimate success story. But in the shadows of Chicago, a ruthless new contender is rising. Hungry, angry, and destroying everyone. He watches the champion from the crowd. He sees a fighter who has gone soft. A fighter he can break. The champion treats boxing like a circus, fighting a giant wrestler in a charity exhibition match. The city honors him with a bronze statue. It's supposed to be the day he announces his retirement. But the number one contender crashes the party. He challenges him publicly, calling him a coward. He insults the champion's wife. The trap is sprung. The champion accepts the fight in a blind rage. His manager reveals a dark truth. The previous title defenses were handpicked. The champion was protected. He begs for one last fight to prove his worth. Reluctantly, his old manager agrees. Training camp is a disaster. It's a public circus, completely lacking focus and hunger. Meanwhile, the challenger trains in a dungeon, building pure, unadulterated hatred and power. Fight night. Tensions explode in the hallway. A massive brawl breaks out before they even reach the ring. The chaos triggers a severe heart attack. The old manager's heart gives out. He leaves his dying mentor in the locker room. He enters the ring completely distracted and terrified. It's a massacre. The champion is destroyed in just 2 rounds. He loses the title. He rushes back to the locker room. He lies to his mentor, telling him he won, right before the old man passes away. A quiet funeral. The former champion has lost his title, his mentor, and his spirit. He returns to his old gym. It's empty, just ghosts and echoes of a better time. Out of the shadows steps his former greatest rival. He has a proposition. Let me train you. The former rival explains that to beat this new threat, he has to completely change his fighting style. They travel to Los Angeles, back to the gritty gym where the former rival learned how to fight. It's a gym filled with hungry fighters, a desperate place that reminds him of where he started. But the training is a disaster. He lacks the rhythm, the speed, and the desire. He is paralyzed by fear. He wants to quit. But his wife confronts him on the beach. She forces him to face his demons. He finally admits the truth. He's afraid. Afraid of getting hurt, afraid he never truly earned his title.
She tells him he must fight to get his respect back. He needs to find the eye of the tiger.
The mental block is gone. The speed returns. He learns how to fight with rhythm and grace. Building stamina in the pool, transforming a heavy brawler into a lightning-fast athlete. The ultimate sprint on the beach. He beats his trainer in a foot race. He is absolutely ready. Before the fight, his trainer gives him his most prized possession, the American flag trunks.
The reigning champion enters the ring, expecting another easy, brutal destruction.
But the challenger in the flag trunks is a completely different fighter. Lighter, faster, and fearless.
Round 1. The champion's power is useless against the challenger's incredible new speed.
He purposely drops his hands and taunts the furious champion.
A brilliant psychological game.
He absorbs the champion's heaviest blows, forcing the brawler to exhaust all of his energy. By the third round, the champion is completely gassed out. The trap is worked.
A devastating final flurry. The unstoppable force has been stopped cold. The knockout. He has reclaimed his title and his honor, winning back the eye of the tiger.
A private gym. No cameras. Just two friends settling the score. Ding, ding.
Rocky IV, the ultimate Cold War.
9 years after the first bell, the champion is enjoying a peaceful life with the woman he loves. But a new threat arrives from the Soviet Union. An amateur giant built to destroy. They showcase the giant to the world, a scientifically engineered fighter with impossible punching power. The former champion watches from home. His warrior spirit burns. He wants to challenge the giant. The reigning champion begs his friend not to fight. But the warrior cannot simply fade away. The exhibition is set. The former champion brings the fire, but the giant remains completely made of ice.
Fight night in Las Vegas. The American fighter enters with a spectacular, wildly confident show.
The giant is completely unbothered by the spectacle. He is here for one thing only: destruction. The fight begins. The giant's power is unreal. The exhibition instantly turns into a brutal massacre.
If he dies, he dies. The American legend falls. A beloved friend is gone forever.
The champion buries his greatest rival and closest friend. The guilt consumes his every waking thought. He drives through the night. The memories haunt him. There is only one way to make things right. He surrenders his title. He announces he will fight the giant on Christmas Day, deep in the Soviet Union. His wife begs him not to go. She tells him it is suicide. But he has to do what he has to do. He says goodbye to his son. A father walking away, knowing he might never return home. He lands in the absolute freezing cold of the Soviet Union. Hostile territory, completely alone. Government agents follow every move. He is taken to the absolute middle of nowhere. A desolate wooden cabin. No technology, no distractions, just ice, snow, and silence. The fallen champion's old trainer joins the camp. He brings the fire needed to win a war. While the American freezes in a cabin, the Russian machine is hooked up to computers, perfecting perfection. Nature versus technology. Raw human spirit against cold, calculated scientific engineering. Chopping wood builds explosive power. Running on machines builds endless, calculated stamina. He pulls sleds loaded with rocks through waist-deep snow, breaking his body to forge an iron will. His wife finally arrives in the snow. She realizes he has to fight, and she is with him completely. With her by his side, the doubt is completely erased. The fire inside him reaches a boiling point. He hoists massive boulders. The machine receives dark chemical enhancements. The ultimate contrast. He outruns the KGB watchers. He sprints up the steepest, deadliest mountain in the freezing cold. The government watchers can't keep up. The iron will of a man on a mission is simply unstoppable. He conquers the mountain. He conquers the cold. He conquers his own absolute limits. He screams the Russian's name from the top of the world. The training is over. It is time for war. Christmas Day in Moscow. The most hostile environment on the entire planet. Pure intimidation. The giant enters to the thunderous roar of his entire country. A machine programmed to kill. Round one is a complete nightmare. The Russian's power throws the American entirely across the ring. He takes a beating that would kill a normal man, but he refuses to go down. He absorbs the damage. Round two. A miraculous right hook lands perfectly. The machine bleeds. He is not a machine, he is a man. 15 brutal, agonizing rounds of sheer war. Two titans completely destroying each other. The impossible happens. The sheer willpower of the American wins over the hostile Russian crowd. The giant defies his masters. He fights to win for himself. The final round begins. A devastating final combination. The giant goes down. The American wins the greatest battle in history. If I can change, and you can change, everybody can change. The Cold War is won in the ring.
Rocky 5.
The war in Russia leaves permanent scars. His body is broken. The fighting days are over. He returns home a hero. But a ruthless new promoter is already circling, smelling blood and money. The promoter offers millions for a new fight, but the doctors have spoken. It's time to retire. A devastating betrayal. The family accountant made terrible investments. The entire fortune is completely gone. Everything is sold off to pay the taxes. The cars, the house, the legacy, all wiped away. With nothing left, the family is forced to move back to the old neighborhood. Back to the bottom. It's a harsh reality check. But they have each other, and they will rebuild from scratch. His wife goes back to work at the old pet shop. She never complains. She carries the weight. He visits his old manager's abandoned gym. The memories are painful, but they give him purpose. He reopens the old gym. If he can't fight anymore, he can teach the next generation. A young, hungry fighter arrives from Oklahoma. He wants the legend to train him. The kid is completely raw, but he hits like a freight train. The legend sees pure potential. Meanwhile, his son is struggling in the tough new neighborhood, becoming a target for local bullies. The fighter has nowhere to live. The legend takes him into his own home, treating him like family. Jab! Cross! One! Training begins in the basement. He pours every ounce of his boxing knowledge into the young machine. His son learns to fight back on his own. He wins respect, but he loses his connection to his father. The first professional win. The strategy works flawlessly. The young fighter is a rising star. The winning streak catches national attention, and the ruthless promoter sees his new golden goose. The legend is so focused on his protege, he becomes completely blind to his own son's pain. Feeling abandoned, his son falls in with a bad crowd. A family slowly breaking apart. The promoter swoops in, offering the young fighter the fast track to a world championship title. He poisons the young fighter's mind with money, women, and absolute greed. His wife sees the truth. She warns him that the kid has no heart, only ambition. He misses Christmas with his family to stay at the gym, a devastating fatherly mistake. The young fighter demands a title shot immediately. He refuses to wait and learn the ropes. The ultimate betrayal. He abandons his mentor for the highest bidder, leaving him completely shattered. He poured his entire soul into the boy. He realizes he was living vicariously, chasing ghosts. He finally wakes up. He finds his son on the streets and begs for complete forgiveness. The traitor wins the heavyweight championship of the world, but the victory is entirely hollow. The crowd rejects the new champion. They chant the legend's name. The title means absolutely nothing. The promoter tells him there is only one way to win the crowd's respect. He must destroy his creator. The new champion tracks his old mentor down at the local pub. He demands a fight right now. The legend refuses to fight. He has nothing left to prove to a man who sold his soul. His brother-in-law steps in to defend him and takes a cowardly, devastating sucker punch. You knocked him down, why don't you try knocking me down? My ring's outside. No referees, no rules, no bells. A sheer, brutal street brawl in the freezing cold. He goes down hard. The damage is immense. But he hears the voice of his old manager calling him.
Get up! I didn't hear no bell. The champion rises from the concrete, fueled by pure street fire.
The ultimate lesson. A true champion isn't made by titles or money. It's built on heart.
The wealth is gone, but the family is whole again. He passes the spirit of the fighter to his son.
Lego Rocky Balboa.
Years have passed. The champion's greatest love is gone. He visits her grave every night. He runs a small restaurant named after her. He spends his nights telling old boxing stories to customers. He takes his brother-in-law on tours of their old haunts. The past is a heavy anchor he refuses to drop. He reconnects with a woman from the old neighborhood. He tries to help her and her teenage son. His son works a corporate job. He loves his father but struggles under the massive shadow of his legacy.
The current heavyweight champion is fast, skilled, and completely disrespected by the fans. He has no real challengers.
A sports network runs a computer simulation pitting the current champion against the old legend. The legend wins. Seeing the simulation sparks something deep inside. The beast in his basement wants out. He wants to fight locally. He applies for a boxing license. The commission immediately denies him, citing his age and health. He refuses to back down. He delivers a passionate speech about a fighter's right to pursue happiness. His speech works. The license is granted. He plans to do small, local fights just to clear his head. But the current champion's promoters see the news. They smell a massive payday for a charity exhibition match. They pitch the exhibition. The champion versus the legend. It's crazy, but it's exactly the challenge he needs. His son confronts him. He begs him not to fight, saying he can't survive the constant humiliation of the legend's shadow.
It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
The speech changes everything. His son quits his corporate job to stand in his father's corner. He gathers the old crew, his son, his best friend, and Apollo's legendary trainer.
One last ride. The strategy is simple. No speed, just pure unadulterated blunt force trauma. Heavy-duty punches.
He adopts a stray mutt from the pound, a loyal companion for the long, cold road work ahead. Back to the meat locker. Building dense, bone-crushing power the old-fashioned way.
Throwing kegs, pulling chains. Pure, primitive strength training. Rebuilding the iron.
While the legend lifts scrap metal, the current champion trains with blistering speed and modern science. The snow falls over Philadelphia. His joints ache, but his absolute willpower pushes him forward. He conquers the steps one last time. The physical transformation is complete. He is ready for war.
They arrive in the blinding lights of Las Vegas, the biggest stage in the entire world.
The champion is arrogant and completely dismissive. The legend is humble, just happy to be there. Minutes before the bell. The people he loves surround him. The ghosts of the past are finally quiet.
The current champion enters to a massive high-tech laser show. Pure spectacle. The legend enters. No lasers, no fireworks. Just a man walking to the ring as the entire arena erupts. The final instructions. The young lion versus the old tiger. Ding, ding.
Round 1 is entirely dictated by speed. The champion is too fast. The legend takes a severe beating.
Round 2. The champion throws a massive body shot and shatters his own hand on the legend's hip. The injury creates an opening. The legend unloads his heavy bombs. The champion goes down.
It turns into an absolute bloodbath. A grueling, exhausting war of attrition that shocks the entire world.
The late rounds. Age and exhaustion catch up. The old tiger goes down hard on the canvas.
Memories of his past flood his mind. He refuses to stay down. He pushes up through the absolute pain.
The 10th and final round. They march to the center of the ring. Nothing held back.
They swing until the very last second. An unforgettable, legendary final exchange.
The bell rings. You're a great champion. Absolute, undeniable mutual respect.
He doesn't wait for the decision. The victory was inside himself. The legend walks away on his own terms.